Hello. Yes, I'm back this soon. Funnily enough, I started writing Amalgamate as I was writing Hour because, uh, no shame, no hate to them. People are busy. Everyone gets done things at their own pace. Uh, all that good stuff. The Lightner was good. But, I get bored very quickly. So, in order to make up for that, my brain just told me, hey, hey, you should write episode 6. And I said, yes, brain. Yes, I will. I hope you know that I'm making a hand puppet to be the voice in my head. So yeah, I really like this one. And sorry if I mispronounce any names. I or if any of the names are like culturally inaccurate or language inaccurate, because there are some Arabic names in here, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce any of them right. So, if I do, if I ever do, just like let me know. I didn't look at how to pronounce them. I just wrote them down, and I'm praying. But yeah, I'm really proud of this one. It's gory. I can't say what it's based on until it ends, because then that'll spoil the whole thing and you won't be as scared. Womp. Also, side note, I'm probably sick again. I could have added a confetti sound, but like, why? I'm free. Speaking of confetti, I can actually make myself honk. Yep. Now you know that. Now you live with that information. But yeah, this is episode 6, Amalgamate. Ooh. Statement of Isan Rashid regarding his encounter. Ah! Um. Hi. Hi, Kara. Was there was there something you needed, or because you know usually you knock. What's all this?
What do you think, genius?
Files.
That's right. And this has been what's been coming out of them for the last 6 weeks.
I am aware of that. Yes, I have been informed of the issue.
Oh, you're aware, are you? Then why are the files more sand than paper, Sage? I'm sick of contacting HR about it. David barely knows what's going on. You and Sasha aren't doing anything, and it's really starting to piss me off. The only people in this godforsaken institute that will actually listen to me are Hazel and Elijah, because this is happening to them too.
They're having the same problem?
Yes! There's mud in the phone receiver, there's dirt in the CPU. Artifact storage is covered in gravel according to him, and I can't even go into the break room to have a coffee. 'Cause that's all drowned in dirt. Is there a reason you're not fixing this? What was your mandatory 2-week holiday, you gallivanting in the Sahara, and you thought this would be a fun way of showing us your souvenirs?
I had bronchitis.
It started in your sticker drawer.
I was out! Theoretically, if this was my doing, how could I have planted sand in my own office? Not even my own office. Almost the entire archive without at least task noticing.
I don't know. Evil Tome.
That's...
Whatever. You talk to Sasha. Maybe she'll listen to her favorite little archivist.
Pause recording.
statement of his son Rashid regarding his encounter with one Dr. Leasw during his stay in university. Original statement given June 15th, 2011. Audio recording by Sage Newbert, head archivist of the Magnus Institute, previously stationed in London, but moved to Hastings in 2021. The statement begins. I always knew I wanted to major something biology related. Cancer was slowly eating away at my sister, and I wanted to stop it. I was in uni, either in Bristol or Brighton, something with a B. There, one day, a young man offered me an opportunity to attend a bioengineering club. I don't know when I got it exactly, just that I wanted to go, and the manager was nice enough to pass me a free brochure. I think his name was Limos. The names are fuzzy now, I apologize, but it's been nearly a decade since I've seen any of these people. Mr. Neineltowski was a strange case. He was tall, hunched, and discolored. I don't mean it in the way of illness. I mean, some bits of his skin didn't match up, like a child's stuffed animal, but brought to a person. Come to our introductory meeting this Tuesday, he told me, smiling in a way that just felt wrong to me. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like someone stretched him out. I got a look at his hand, the centerpiece being what I assumed was his normal skin tone, but each finger, they were black, white, even jaundiced yellow for his thumb. I politely thanked him for the brochure and went on my way. Then he told me it was no big deal and that he was sorry about my sister. I do not care what anyone has told you. I have never met that man before this moment. I froze, turning around to face him, asking how he knew about Zoya, and he laughed, saying there are tells before going back to handing out papers. Truthfully, I shrugged him off as some weirdo stalker and forgot about the whole interaction. That is, until my Tuesday biology lecture. The teacher was gone. Instead stood a chipper Dr. Neineltowski. He and the melted, monstrous faces of my classmates turned to stare at me. Ah, Isan, he cheered. Lovely of you to join us. I asked him if this was still my biology lecture, and he told me no, the classroom transferred. I asked where to, and he paused. No, not even paused. Full on stopped. Freakishly blue eyes staring into the deepest pits of my soul. Why don't you take a seat? He suggested, almost in a forceful tone, less a request and more a command. I scanned the room, looking for someone who seemed normal enough. Everything else probably wanted to tear my skin for a snack, and I didn't want to risk my life. I like learning, just not enough to kill myself. I seemed to be the only human there, so I sat somewhere far away, and the lesson began. Dr. Neineltowski pulled down his presentation, and quite honestly, I wanted to throw up. It looked like a strange flesh abomination melted together as if it was clay. The blood as its paint and the organs mere decoration. He told us that's what we'd be working on. I stood abruptly, moving without thinking, to the door. One of those things grabbed me before I could leave. Doctor, it croaked horridly, I think we have a volunteer. I tried elbowing it away, but I heard a cheery, wonderful from Dr. Neineltowski, and the dreaded thing dragged me to the front of the room. I watched it go back to its seat, and all the squirming, wriggling creature's eyes pinned on me, wondering what I'd do. They might have been waiting to swallow me whole. Dr. Neineltowski moved to the curtain behind the board. This is my greatest work, he said, and I want you to help me finish it." Then he pulled the curtain back, and a large, damp, wriggling mass of mushed skin, bloodied organs, and screeching. I didn't wait. I ran. I barreled through bodies and blood until I could get out the door, but he was there. "Where are you going?" he asked, and I told him to piss off. He didn't like that.
The clap of his hands, a kid I've never seen before, had appeared, grabbing me by the hands and locking my wrists together, tightly. Next thing I knew, I had a scalpel to my throat. He had babbled to his assistant, asking him what to do with me, and he'd teased back that I'd be dead anyway. They settled on my left hand, sliding the scalpel on the front skin, peeling me down to the bone. I couldn't scream, couldn't cry. I just sat there and took it, seeing the doctor play with my skin like it was a stretchy sliver of fabric. Then he walked over to the horrid thing, placing my flesh on a bubbled and distended side. I'd compare it to a freshly wounded callus.
My skin slithered slickly to its back, gurgling as it rooted into place. The kid asked if that would be enough for the Amalgamate. Dr. Neinaldhowski told him he thought so. Still wanted to do some more tests, just to be sure. I elbowed the little prick. The new position made it easier to break free, running out and finally getting a good glance at my hand. I was sure I'd need the area around it to be properly amputated. Stared at it, unable to move the damn thing. Lack of muscle tissue made that obvious enough. I didn't dial anyone, though. Instead, I walked to the nurse, grabbed a couple bandages, and wrapped my arm. It was like that for days. I felt so distrusting of medical staff after that. The ones caring for Zoya let her die, and a good-for-nothing husband ran off with some woman on a work trip to Dubai. So I took in her kids. I'm still angry about that prick leaving her, but that's a story for another day. Statement ends. The Londoners love sending me brutal and depressing statements, huh? First the kids, next a solemn dementia patient, and now... Anyway, Dr. Lemus Neinaldhowski and his medical degree at, no university listed. I'll just write that as unknown for now. And he lost his medical license in 2015, roughly 4 years after his graduation, due to medical malpractice. He was found stealing skin, organs, and various other appendages from dying or deceased patients. And later he and his soon-to-be assistant Nathaniel Knorr were found in Eglinton Cemetery and Memorial Garden. Grave robbing. Afterwards, the ex-doctor opened his clinic with Nathan and a few others, where he was rumored to be involved with practices of switching skin and organs, peeling patients' weight to bone, breaking bones, molding new faces out of old ones. Jesus Christ! I do not want to read the rest of this. Just know that there's a plethora of gore. Gross, horrid gore. I thought he was in ties with Marco Vasquez from case 00202315000, nicknamed Sweet Shop, (evil), end parentheses, by Kara, but it's more likely that Marco either died or was busy spending the rest of his foreseeable life in prison, like he deserves. Anyway, there's very little information on them. The only dirt I can dig on Nathan is he's a frequent grave robber, particularly interested in
stealing eyes. Whether Dr. Nanotowski wishes to aid or sabotage him in his efforts, I have no idea. Before becoming a doctor, though, Limos used to work at a fish market, but after reading a book, his manager said, he simply wasn't the same. By that description, I suspect another lightener. Maybe I can squeeze it in a meeting. Recording ends. Excuse me? Oh, hi, Task.
Hello.
Sage. I understand you wanted to speak with me?
Yes. 1. Could we have an increase of statements regarding anything mentioning tomes, books, or the name Lightner? I read about him in that one statement he gave me not too long ago, and I'd like to gather as much information on them as possible. 2. Kara has something to say.
Yeah, I have a lot to say, actually. Mainly, what the hell are you doing?
Kara?
Oh, don't even!
I'm afraid I don't understand.
The sand, Sasha! What else would I be talking about? Every single day I wake up, I get a coffee full of wet dirt. I open a file, sand grains in a dusky page. I try to use the computer and it screeches at me because of all the grime. Hazel can't even do her job now, and soon David won't be able to either. His computer's the only one untouched, but only a matter of time before it's a worm's dream home.
I loathe to say it, but she does have a point. Whatever is doing this is making the Institute borderline inoperable.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because I thought it'd be rude, and, well, Kara's, assertive methods of making me truly aware, because, as you know, I don't really leave my office, brought it to my attention. There's sand in the tapes.
What?
There's sand in the tapes. I've been shifting through the ones from a couple of weeks ago, and they sounded, well, broken, so I opened them up, and sand.
That's not ideal.
No shit.
Kara.
What?
Both of you, stop. I can see that this is a greater issue than I have come to realize. I say we make time to locate the true source of the problem and hopefully resolve it before casualty occurs. I will contact the head of rebuildings and see what we can do from there. Let me know if the issue progresses. Thank you for taking the time to discuss this with me. And Kara, I apologize for not taking this as seriously as I could have.
Whatever. Thanks.
Hey y'all, funny story. I got sick. Yeah, I got sick. like I can feel it coming on too, which was like really weird. But I was just sitting down. My throat started to hurt like midway recording some of my lines, and I was like, "Huh, I don't feel very good. I'm gonna take a pause and come back to it later." And then later was like a week, a week later, a week or two later. But I'm here, and I got the juice. Guess Sage is just sick again. Like how they were in episode 1. Because I actually had bronchitis, I'm pretty sure. Or like something. Because I couldn't stop coughing. Actually, the first episode wasn't even like meant to be a full thing. I just kind of did it for fun. then I was like, oh, hey, I actually like doing this. So yeah, a fun factoid of the day. Um, Speaking of factoids, did you know I like Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is either Mimikyu or Wooper. The more you know. I also hate math. I'm not excited to go back to school. I took a couple days off because, oh my god, I was dying. I was like bedbound day 2 and 3, and I just felt all achy and bad. I went through an entire bag of cough drops. It was bad. Speaking of sick, I'm probably like gonna make myself some tea. Yeah, tea sounds good. Hope you enjoyed it and see you next time. Okay, goodbye.